Welcome to House Common Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode contains graphic content, including, but not limited to, copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, be they infants or immortals, fantasy drug use, nudity, mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. We cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. Be fruitful and become many.
All right. Welcome to House Common Blood. I'm Gray, your DM and host. I apologize. There we go. Sorry, I was getting feedback. Welcome to House Common Blood. I'm Gray, your DM and host. We're a D&D 5e podcast currently playing the adventure Hangman Worms of Frostheart. Our party was former prisoners, once covert operatives for Giuliano's government, as they faced sentient calamities led by the Rebirth Bastion, a Genasi army, threatening world destruction. Recently, our misfit group confronted an emotional vampire in Sham, a town made of a thinking slime mimic. A sentient calamity, per se. After a fierce battle and defeating the vampire, they face consequences, like a curse from a hag. Now, free from their imprisonment, the party journeys on, even delivering cookies to another hag. However, a party member was cursed to kill Living Seal, leading them to a dungeon with a Trask burial site. Breaking the curse involved an unusual pact, transplanting a elder brain into a Trask skeleton. The necromancer, Phoenix, a fire genasi, was defeated, and the Trask remains within its ward. Venturing south to the ruins with a dormant teleportation circle, the party discovers a world map with 4 sets of 2 glowing symbols. Their next target is in Locus, within the Titan Sea. It's rather simple, don't you think? I'm joined here today by our players, Mega.
Hello, I am Mega, and I play Eddie, the Otter Boy Triton Bastard class. I also play Eddie and any other similarly named character that you might encounter.
As well as Rakuzan.
Hello everyone, I'm Recusant. I play the Spore Monk Mavet Sohafi Dash, who is the sap that holds the whole party together.
And finally, Moo.
Hello, I play Seer, who is a fire genasi artificer alchemist. Basically just a woman that's always on fire.
All right. So, where we last left off here, you guys have finished up your business with James at the Hayse estate. Crossed all your T's, dotted all your I's, and it sounds like, well, it doesn't sound like, you guys definitely wanted to investigate the island to figure out the location of an odd connection that the Hayse family has developed. Presumably by his mother, Eddie's mother, Marianne. This connection was to a captain by the name of Valentine. And as you guys went to investigate, you found him getting his shit kicked in by sailors on the docks. And you have come to learn that the man is a mute, and his sword does the talking for him. A sentient sword. Their relationship aside, or why he would ever use the sword to represent him in any way, is beyond all of you. But apparently they have some sort of relationship. Eddie decided that it might be a good idea to have a one-on-one smoke session with them to speak from the heart. While that is occurring, Moo and Aluya were doing a bit of a performance, a circus act, if you will, of eating candles, if memory serves. And yeah, they're getting a crowd of weirdos who are really into that for some reason. I believe
Everybody
that,
likes weirdos.
yeah, I believe that captures the main points. I know there's a lot of nuances, but it essentially led towards galvanizing the group to search for this man and have a little bit of a one-on-one with him. All right, let's get started here. Social intrigue. All right. You guys to the city. All right, Seer.
All right, I'm ready to be punished. Let's do it.
No, I just mean to tell you that you're drawing a crowd. Although not one for one, is this a dock-like area, but it's close enough to get the general gist that you are within a little bit of a seedier part of the city where a lot of tavern businesses are open to sailors that are coming back from a hard day's work. You are going to represent that with a bit of a crowd here.
There's no shortage of salt and semen here.
There you go. All right. Now, before we get into the talk here, Seer, how are you and Aluya really enticing the crowd, like making the most out of this?
I mean, since we're trying to just fit in, the more extravagant we go, the better. Now, as I read on our Discord, this is what Aluya said word for word what they're doing to get their thing going. And that is that they're going to stick to shaking their gold makers so that we get those dineros.
Please. Please go into detail.
Okay, like, here's the thing. I only have the photo of Aluya to compare with. So, usually, what I assume is that Aluya doesn't really like changing how they look very often, because as you already know from their outfits so far right now,
Yep.
no fear showing off cleavage. No fear showing off their legs to the point where they emphasize their legs. So I kind of imagine Aluya is very much a woman that enjoys, well, not enjoys, is not afraid to show off their assets when needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Aluya is doing such a thing, probably they would make more of a show as they hand off a candle to Seer, who is not as showy, and in fact will just make it a lot more of a show of just devouring this candle. That's the whole appeal, is that they just swallow it as their hair flames up.
Okay.
But then, very much, it's the best way to explain it as Aaliyah is the showgirl that's just basically dancing and bouncing. Seer is the person that's taking a lot of, candles to the throat.
Okay. All right. So this is what you girls have been doing this entire time. Like, what? Tell me what's the finale, or what's the big hallmark of this performance to get you a second wave of tips?
I would say, as Aaliyah's doing their thing, Aaliyah picks a volunteer to pick a candle at random. And then the goal for this one is that to make the finalize, as they hand out balloons to everybody as well, is that instead of it being just like handed to Seer, this is the one where someone chucks a candle into their mouth.
Okay. And what's the reaction of the recipient doing this? Or not the recipient, the person doing this?
I mean, the reaction? It would depend on the person. Like, if it's a child, oh, cool, I get to chuck something, which is cute. If it's like a teenager, they just like to throw shit. If it's an adult, they're probably like... will you roll for his alignment?
Well, let me roll for gender, hang on. No. Okay. It's man. And, okay, roll for alignment. What the fuck? I don't know how many alignments are off the top of my head. Hang on.
Just D9.
Yeah, D9? Okay. Okay. Five.
Oh my god. They are the complete neutral.
Complete neutral.
That means they are very much...
I've lived for a long time, young lady. I've had many a candle stuck down throats.
Oh my god, I don't want to imagine he's actually, like, genuinely thinking about something else besides candles, and it's like, Seer's like...
Yes.
Well, I appreciate that. So, what is your tips then, old man?
Hey, let me see what I have, young lady. 15 gold pieces. Yes.
Then if I achieve this, you don't have to give me the whole thing. We could just enjoy ourselves in the final part of the show as you, my good sir, can pick a candle to throw. Usually I swallow it by hand, but I think we could play the game of I try to catch it.
Okay. And he goes in to grab maybe a red candle, because that sounds fun. And goes back and hang on. Tries to do the throw here. And it plops on the ground. With a 3.
Looks and goes like, you can have one more try. If not, you could pick someone to throw in your stead.
Oh, no,
God,
no,
I'd be terrified.
I can do this. I'm a man. This is the first time I've done this.
I will say he has advantage too, because I'm a willing participant.
Okay.
Yeah, she's practically begging
16.
for it, dude.
He throws it at you.
Now the hard part, the candle. Seer will catch into their mouth, and God, is this one of my character secret talents? All right, fine,
Yeah.
we'll make it one of my character secret talents.
No gag
Without
reflex?
chewing,
What?
without chewing, they swallow the candle whole,
Okay.
and then they spit the candle back out. And then they swallow the candle fully. Am I going for a third time? No, I won't go for a third time.
Yeah, you see 34 silver pieces get thrown into the pot. And you get 15 gold pieces from the old man. Looks very satisfied. Just squinting eyes, like one arm behind the back. Hunched over slightly and going, yes. Very good, very good. You did it.
Thank you for your patronage, and of course I can do it. I learned from the best.
Grace quirks an eyebrow.
Well, now we know Seer was a whore in their past.
There you go. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the scene before we jump back to the boys here?
The only thing I would say for closing stuff is that Seer would just pick up all the candles, light them all, hold them in their arms, as Aaliyah gives the rest of their balloons, and dances around as they shake their gold makers. And we make our merry way back to the group.
Okay. Yeah, if this is the point where you guys are diverging, absolutely. Just start moving your token along on the battle map here. See the crowd begin to disperse.
Right. I'll just start waddling down.
And waddling down, and I'll bring Aaliyah with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, as you crest down the alleyway, I am going to need one final thing from you, Aaliyah. And I'll allow you to do this with advantage because Aaliyah is along with you. I want you to make me a perception check.
Alright. Mega, am I going to die?
Hang on. Oh. Is it available to you?
Now it is. Now it is, so that's the good news.
The goal. Yep. That should have been a straight roll, man. But it was a 2 anyways, so.
I'm good at rolling twos.
Yeah, no, we'll keep going on our merry way here as both Seer and Aaliyah are making their way down the alley, both with smirks on their face and heavier pockets. We see the camera lingering down the alleyway at two commoners, two sailors, looking at one another, and both having a stoic expression as they follow footsteps. That said, please keep going forward.
Will do.
Right. All right. Seer, please flavor this up, like how you're walking up. Remind the audience, like how you're dressed, what you look like.
Of course, I would love to just explain that Seer is basically wearing what similarly looks kind of like a clown jumpsuit with all the bells and whistles, literally. And, as I could say is with confidence, they are dressed not to, cover themselves up fully as their face is exposed, but they are wearing a metal headband that simply flows off the fire up towards the top, making them look like a giant candle.
Hmm.
And they are walking with what seems to be a skip in their step and a lot more pep than normal, which is very strange for the people that know Seer, as they are very much not that.
Hmm. Okay. Eddie, please, like, paint the picture for us one more time, like on a little bit of the location and what Eddie and Captain Valentine and Mavet are doing at this moment. Um, are you speaking, Mega? Hello?
You don't hear him?
Yeah. Having trouble?
Does that improve it?
Yep. We can hear you.
That was weird. I don't know. It's like, yeah, so Eddie, Mavet, and Captain Valentine are currently, like, relaxing a in a nearby, like, a hookah bar. And, like, Eddie has decided to, like, offer his own supply, as it were. And they are now currently, like, smoking it together in those initial stages, and are, I believe, as we've kind of like left off at last point, uh Captain Valentine, air quote, spoke first.
Hmm. And yes, as he begins to speak, this would be around the time that Seer is wrapping up and beginning to walk towards you guys. But I guess the start of it is, and there's not an accent, I should say. This should be like a direct thought here. So, what he said was, "Gods, it's finally good to speak for myself for once." Hello, Mr. Hayse. Gives you.
Like, nice to meet ya. Captain Valentine, was it?
Yes, that's correct. I'm Captain Valentine of the Ink Crows.
So, like, This isn't your first time, is it?
Yes, I'm afraid not. I've done this before. And, I'm gonna... Yeah, I think he would just leave it at that. I'm afraid not. This isn't my first time, and doesn't elaborate further on that.
Well, I already knew that. I just appreciate your honesty.
He gives you a little bit of a nod, sitting down in the alcove within the stone. I think he might even look around at your a friend, the tree man, and he would say something along the lines of, since I gave you a bit of honesty, how about some yourself? What is this? And he squints his eyes at Mavet.
Mavet Soha Fidash.
Ah, Mavet. A Mavet. Can't say I've seen something like you before.
I've seen one other, but they're no longer here. They're helping a friend.
Friends. Ah, yes, I understand. Gives you a slow nod.
Do you have many friends?
You could say that.
I just did say that.
And you guys, yeah, I would say like you guys probably get the slight visual of a few faces popping within your heads. The commonality is crewmates, people that work under him.
Oh, so those are your security.
Well,
I'm manager for Eddie here.
a manager, huh? Again, gives a very slow nod. Yes, you could say my friends are a bit missing at the moment.
Well, why did you lose? Where'd you lose them?
Upstream.
Well, shouldn't they be flowing down if they're upstream?
Strangely enough, no, they were flowing upward. Is the damnest thing.
Are they alive?
Hopefully.
Do you want to help find them?
If you'd be so bold and honorable, yes.
Okay. I'll ask Eddie if we can after we do our stuff. I gotta protect him, you know.
Gives a small smile and again nods. Looks towards Eddie, seeing you as the head of this small operation you guys are running. And I'd say at this time, Seer would be walking up.
Oh, hi, Seer.
Hello. I finished with my entertaining, as I don't think Mavet would see the signs, but probably Eddie would see it's like, get me out of this costume. I don't like eating candles, my tummy hurts. I brought Janet Jackson with me.
Janet. Yes, Janet Jackson.
Is that a security title too?
You could say that. Stage names are beautifully made. So if you know their name, just call them Janet Jackson for now.
Okay. Hi, Janet Jackson.
I
Waves.
yeah, I was gonna say, I assume she waves.
Hope like things went well. Eddie remembers to say out loud.
Maiden mighty prophet, who knew that I could take so many candles?
Sir, you got a little something on your lip.
What color?
Don't you fucking dare.
I'll get it for you. While Vet just reaches out and touches it. It's a little melty, but as he pulls it away, it hardens on his finger. Oh, it's just candle.
Oh, it's the blue candle. That one I had to literally pound down my throat. Don't you worry.
You good, Gray?
No, Eddie.
They're not okay because they just realized that Seer really loves candles.
Yeah. Yep. Eddie, do you offer the little do you offer a little bit of your drugs towards this private conversation?
It's just like, hey, Seer. It's like, do you want to like come in on this conversation or?
Oh, let's do so. I need a break. We can have some fun, shall we? But for now, continue your conversations and I will give my opinions.
Like, yeah, you kind of need this, as he just kind of like gestures. He kind of can't talk to you directly. Well, not safely. As he just kind of like slowly veers his eyes toward the sheathed sword.
What the fuck are you looking at? Rattles. I got some wax on my face?
I can fix that.
I ain't no damn chump.
Cyril whispered to Eddie. Gotcha, I could do that. And I will try to join into the conversation.
Okay. I don't believe this is the first time you've smoked.
No, it hasn't. So let's get jiggy.
Walk us through, Eddie. Like, this is a
Actually, in the case of Seer for this moment, like, I'm kind of imagining that uh as she's like taking like her like first few hits, like, like she does start to get like that, like, like a heightened sensory feeling. And I think a bit unfortunately in her case, question mark, it's that includes like, like the brushing of her clown outfit against her skin, and possibly even like the sensation of the candle in her throat and stomach that hasn't quite gone away yet. Like, you're now very acutely aware of the fact that you just swallowed a lot of candles recently.
Oh no, it's gonna be one of those moments where it's like, oh god, I'm stuffed. Too much. But not
Oh, yeah,
like
and you probably still like taste even more intensely like the leftover candle in your mouth.
I definitely need a smoke break.
Eat
Just
cigarettes
burn this candle
and
away.
tobacco.
But eventually, uh, the echoes of her own mind start to resonate with the others around them.
Hmm.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Suddenly, an ad slowly creeps its head in, thinking, "Can I pop out now?" I'll take that as a no. Bye.
No.
We haven't sold this space to advertisers yet.
Mm-mm. I only wish.
So, like, what were you about to say, Gray?
Nothing. Nothing. Go ahead.
So, like, Captain Valentine, you didn't, like, lose your crew to the mountain, did you?
Looks away. Looks to the side. Really interested on the cobblestone work. And what's weird is like you hear him clear his throat, even though he's not going to speak with his mouth. So it just goes. Yes, unfortunately that did occur. Mm. We we had a lot of trouble.
Were you going that way for a particular reason?
Look,
You
look, look.
seem more like the seagoing type.
Yes, there's a bunch of things that occurred. First of all, we were being chased, and we were forced towards your lovely island. And he does a little bit of a hand gesture here. Though we did have a bit of business, we couldn't go towards the traditional docks. As we were being chased, we went upstream and kept going upstream and upstream and upstream until we came to the mountain. And don't even get me started on those damn monkeys. Well, look.
Oh yeah, you were not prepared for those, were you?
No, we were not. Look, our ship took a lot of damage from going upriver and vertically up a damn mountain. I don't know what happened to my crew, and I was kind of thrown off a little bit. Figuratively and literally, I was thrown off. I have no idea what happened to my crew. All I know is my boat is on top of a mountain, and I don't know how to get it down.
Oh, guess that doesn't really explain how did you get here.
A lovely story that. Actually squints his eyes at you a little bit, and yeah, he would say something along the lines of, We were to come here to take a shipment from your lovely family and export it down to Giuliano. A little bit off the books. No one was supposed to know about the shipment.
As in an arrangement just between you and Ma?
again looks away, looking at the stonework, really feeling the table with his finger. Yes, Master Hayse. We also had an arrangement with your mother. And she was the one that, and he takes a couple hesitant moments before continuing on. She's the one who orchestrated the export.
It's like
Yep.
Eddie taking a hit on that, mulling it over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, a couple things isn't adding up from what he's saying. But it seems like you just bringing up your mother's name, or just bringing up your mother in general, has put a little chink in his armor.
And how did you come to this arrangement?
It was over a bottle of rum at a tavern. It was she's a fun girl. Lovely woman.
Captain?
Yes, Master Hayse?
I would appreciate it if you didn't hide things from me.
Look, Master Hayse, it's like walking on eggshells with your family. There's a fair line of trust between me and her. She's trusted me with a lot. I can't betray that trust. Well, let me clarify. I don't want to betray that trust for my own well-being.
Your own well-being.
Yes. Well, how do I put this? Have you ever heard of Minerva?
Minerva as in...
Yes, Minerva is a goddess of the sea. It's a bit of a nautical legend among us sailors. We give an offering to her for safe travels. If you'd like, you can make a religion check. Well, anyone present can make one if they want to.
I will.
Might as well.
Okay.
No reason not to.
Yep.
Ulias Be to Minerva.
Okay. I'll give everyone the roll. Okay. It's 15 for Mavet, strangely enough. Jesus.
I would ask, would they know about Minerva or would they not?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, no, I could definitely say this would be a situation where she would be able to make that check with advantage. Just because it's secular to sailors. Wow. Yeah, Aluya and strangely enough, Mavet and Seer are very familiar with it. Towards Eddie's ignorance on this, just believe it's just never been. It's just one of those things that hasn't been brought up because I don't believe Eddie would have involved himself with too many conversations with sailors, or at least in depth on their culture.
Probably would have been like doing other things with them.
Yeah, exactly. But here's what you guys know. Minerva is essentially like a siren of sorts. Throughout multiple tales of Minerva, it's usually the classical, siren on the rock luring sailors to their death through the jagged reef. But what's interesting about Minerva is she has an almost godlike or goddess-like status amongst the sailors and creatures of the ocean. The idea is that her myth revolves around using the vocal cords of beautiful singers as instruments, like vocal cords that trail down her illustrious cloak, and she plays it much like a harp. Now, towards what Aluya would know, is there have been sailors that have went out to sea and come back as mutes, much like our man Valentine here. So, again, it might not be a revelation for Eddie, but I would say for Mavet at least, who has been here from start to the current topic. Might have a revelation of where his vocal cords went and what he might hold dear. I believe, like springboarding off of that, Valentine would say, "Your mother's made me promises that she has found my voice, and I'd very much like it back."
So, in exchange for that information, you've been doing side jobs for her?
Bites his lip a little bit and just goes, "Yes, I've been doing a favor here, a favor there."
And how long has this been going on?
We made this deal around 6 months ago. And today, I was supposed to get my prize.
We were supposed to meet with her today?
Yes. It's the damnedest thing she didn't show up. Thinking that I've outlived my usefulness and losing my ship, I kind of went down into a spiral as he looks towards the alleyway where he's been getting his shit kicked in.
Well, that does leave more questions for later. But as a kindness, I can offer you an answer to a lingering question.
Squints his eyes.
Na's not like that. She's just been indisposed.
Oh, really? Indisposed? What kind of business would pop up to really throw away what we've worked so hard to get to? No. You can tell he's using the royal we. Looking down at his sword.
I guess to summarize it without going into too much detail, sudden magical teleportation.
Pardon?
Sudden magical teleportation.
Yeah, I heard you. Excuse me?
Due to weird circumstances, she is not here, and I am here.
Yes. Appears to be the case. Second? Okay. Yeah, you see as he's looking away, like his eyes keep darting at you. Your posture, your body language, then bites his lip as he believes what you say. Well, that complicates things. So excited to find my voice today.
Well, for what it's worth, I could probably still try to talk to her about it.
I think he strums his fingers over the tabletop. Then I think he would say, "Look, Master Hayse, if you can secure my voice and possibly help with my predicament with my ship and on top of your lovely mountains, I'd be more than happy to lay my heart on the table and spill everything. But at this moment, I really don't have much of a position to bargain. I really don't have much, and I would like not to lose any more."
That next export you were going to make, where was it going?
He hesitates and says, "Ilriano." And at this point, I will offer good old Eddie an insight check.
Well, this will just determine if he has to use that.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's a bold-faced lie. Like, from all the information you've gathered up so far, that would not be the destination he'd be going.
Then, I believe I've already asked you once before already not to lie to me.
Are you adding on to that threat, Mavet?
Yeah.
Please paint the picture.
So, when Eddie said that he was lying to him, Mavet stepped closer to Valentine and is just waiting for Eddie to proceed to see if he has to do anything.
Like, look, dude, I'm a real chill guy. Just as long as you're chill back. You get what I'm saying?
Gives you a slow nod and says, Mr. Hayes, I've already explained to you, I don't have much. Information is all I have. Without this, I don't have anything. What's to keep you here? What collateral do I have that you'll help me? Once you get your information and leave, I'm done. I'm over. I lose my voice, I lose my crew, and I lose my damn ship. I'm sorry. I don't mean to lie. Again, I'm walking on eggshells here, and all I see below me is a deep abyss.
Like,
Sighs.
Eddie's going to like take a moment, set down his his vape pen.
Hmm.
And like he's going to like pull out one of his mushrooms.
Okay. Gives it a look.
Like he's going to like look toward the captain. It's like, if like my suspicions are right, you've probably seen this before anyway.
Again, narrows
And he's
his
going
eyes.
to you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like, and he's going to like attempt to like contact his mom again.
Okay.
I know about Valentine. He's wanting his voice. Where did you keep it? Or where can I find it? It's important.
Um. Okay. Vanity set. Right drawer. Key with gatekeeper. Do not dawdle. Feeling parched, feeling thirsty, feeling tired. I love you, son. Never forget.
Then as the mushroom in his hand like literally fades away to nothing.
Hmm.
He picks up his vape pen and sits up. Looks over to the captain. All right, let's get your voice.
Really? That's it? That's it?
like raise his eye. We don't really have much time to like think about it.
Gives you a nod.
You.
Yes, sir.
Just like looks to the rest of the party. Is that you guys coming with, or?
We definitely will.
Okay.
Security definitely needs to come.
All right. At
Yeah,
this
now's
moment,
not the time to be playing with your balloons.
at this moment, we do hear like some steps coming from the east. As we see two sailors, one male, one female. One has a rather large belly, and the other one is rather lanky. And they begin to approach, eyes locked onto Seer. Excuse me. Excuse me. You hear the bigger man say, "That was quite a fine trick over there. I have a few questions for you."
I need them to be quick then, for I must entertain more as well as aid my friends.
The friends, and looks over towards Luya, Mavet, Eddie. And their eyes linger
No,
on to
no,
Valentine.
no. You'll see it's like, no, no, no. My friends, pointing to the whole, like as if they're gesturing to the whole entire area. Basically, the crowd.
Okay. Oh, that's a rough one. May I please have a deception check because it sounds like a misdirection?
I mean, the reason why I would say is because it is a misdirection, but
Yep.
they asked for friends, and I'm like just pointing to like what would be most natural with like an entertainer, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone's my friend,
You know what?
know?
Let's give it to a performance. That sounds fun.
None of it matters though. I suck at it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I know.
can you eat more candles as Mavet tosses a silver piece at Seer?
Oh my god,
Maybe
I
that'll
love
give
you.
her
with
her
the
advantage.
with the advantage, so it's a straight roll. Oh,
Oh my god.
actually, no. There's something we should really set straight here. You would be rolling with advantage itself. And again, I'm trying to get used to this as well. With the first level of exhaustion, you're only suffering a -1 penalty. So please just put a -1 onto your roll.
I plan
Roll with
to.
advantage. Yes. Please keep me honest about that. You do not have disadvantage on
That's
your rolls.
that's how I'm trying to make sure. So I have an 11.
Okay. Yes, the whole world is your friend. Gives a little bit of a belly chuckle, but you know the laugh is fake. And I think he might actually say to you, Seer. What? I think even the woman actually would come a bit closer and say to you, Seer. Would you please give us a moment alone? And looks towards the other people around you, then back at you.
Fuck, I'm in this situation where it's like I can't give an excuse because then they're gonna ask why not.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, it has to be quick. So, of course. Janet Jackson, you stay here.
It'll be just a
Oh.
moment.
No, I want my money's worth.
Well,
I was
I
also
mean,
messaged.
it can't hurt to swallow one more candle.
I can swallow the candle. Although Janet Jackson, what'd you say? Oh, they want to join me. Let me swallow this candle first. Oh God, Eddie, I hate you a little bit because I'm gonna like now they're gonna count how many candles are in their stomach. Ugh.
Well,
Takes it, puts a candle in their
well,
mouth, shoves it down without chewing.
before you bring along Miss Jackson, does she also eat candles?
They are more of a balloon fanatic as well as a dancer.
A balloon fanatic. Yes. Yes. Actually, I need. I'll explain this one in a little bit here, but I'm gonna offer you persuasion roll.
Oh my God, this is like me gambling with my worst stat. How dare you? All right, let's keep doing it.
Let's keep doing it. Actually, before you make that roll, please do it with intelligence. And again, I will explain why. This isn't a. This doesn't stem from your personality.
Apparently, I was told guidance.
Yep, rolled that 1d4.
That would be a lovely 14, yes.
Yes, balloons. I see. And you see, like, both the man and the woman, like, nodding together. No issue. Thank you so much for letting us know.
Then let us speak with each other. Sphere will follow them a short distance, but not like into a dark alley somewhere scary.
Start leading you off. Although not entering the alley itself, they motion in for like towards a door. One of them opens it up. See the burly man opening up the door for you.
So the second that Seer and Aluya begin to leave, I turn to Eddie and say, I think they might know about her no stuff of her being made of fire.
You see you see Valentine spit up a little bit of rum. Eddie, I'll allow a response before moving on with the Seer here. Unless you want to stay silent.
Give him a minute. His microphone might be evil to him.
Yeah, I know. That's well. The only reason why I do that kind of shit is
getting dumb.
Yep. There we go. Yeah. Just for your sakes here. And yes, I do hear you, Mega. The main reason I do that is just so like a person on the other end knows that I can't hear them. Go ahead, please.
Eddie inhales a bit. It's like before exhaling. Oh, I'm sure they do. But that's probably to our advantage.
Yeah.
Should I tail behind or make sure you're okay?
They'll let us know if something's up.
Gentlemen, you hear from the west. You see one man approaching. It is not that close to you, Eddie. Let me put this back.
That scared me. It's like you said not that close, and it's like he just phased into existence.
No, Because that is very rude, just to slap on a motherfucker 5 feet from a player without a check. So you do hear from the West, Eddie, as we are going to cut away from this scene in particular, with, again, I would say another person who has the outfit similar to Valentine. They seem to have the regalia of a captain. And he just says to you, again, like, you guys are in a pretty hidden spot. And he seemed to just pick you guys away, seeing you, just saying, gentlemen, a word, please, gentlemen, as he does begin to approach. Going to Moo and Seer. What do you do, Seer? The door is open, and they are offering you making a gesture for, hey, please come in.
Can you describe the building to me? Is it like a warehouse? Is it like a home with windows? Is it other things like that?
So like we've went over before, and the cobblestone ground is misleading. Imagine it as wood. You guys are on the docks where sailors come to relax. There's a lot of taverns, brothels, things for a sailor to unwind with as soon as they come back from a hard day's work. This in particular, this does seem like a little bit of a storage, a little bit of a storage shack, I would say. So it would be a modest-sized building. You see a bunch of crates, a bunch of barrels stacked haphazardly. Please, come in.
My brain is being like scared, but I'm like, I have to dig, so I shall walk in.
Okay. Please put yourself on top of the building. And I assume Janet Jackson would shadow your footsteps.
Correct.
You see man and woman come in, the woman trailing behind, her back to the door. You hear a little bit of a click. She locks it. Your eyes go from the woman to the man. As you look at the man, you just see him just massaging his face. Fingers over temples, forehead. One second, please. Almost there. And you see him just grabbing his hair, and just you hear a sickening rip as he's ripping down his flesh over his face, and you see a bit of a mucus underneath it. Just bubbling up, no blood. And as he begins to rip, you see what appears to be a frog made of water. Second.
So, are they more made of water, or are they a frog? I ask because I'm going like, am I seeing a genasi, or am I seeing
more made
a
of water?
grung?
More made of water.
Okay. Just making sure, because I was about to laugh, going like, did I just see a grung? And that'd be freaky.
You see what appears to be 2 frogs. And again, the woman does the same thing, ripping it out, and that one has a little bit of lipstick over her little wide mouth. In the shape of a heart. But yes, the man, you see he is a water genasi. And he comes forward. Oh, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Yes, I couldn't believe the spectacle you were putting on. Quite genius. But really, you are leaving a trail. You need to be more careful. You're going to... And he looks around and lowers his voice a little bit. Going to cause a disturbance around here. We must stay silent, sister.
Seer will kind of drop their act a bit and just be like, I usually do, but the problem is I am in a bit of a predicament where my usual methods don't work. So I have to take the other approach. It's for a short bit. And then, well, probably coop myself here. Or not here, but like in a more private area.
Before we get too crazy here, please. And he holds out his hand.
Seer already been exposed. Seems to be like these people are also risking themselves to be exposed, so might as well grab his hand. Are we having like an elemental moment where touching hands, their hand boils, and then
It
it's just like
depends.
this
Did you
beautiful
do
romantic
alter
moment?
self?
I couldn't, because the
Okay.
problem is usually when I alter self, it's that, but you know.
Yeah, that's the main reason I'm asking. Yes, it'd be an elemental moment where, their hand touches yours and we see steam rise from it, and he just gives a smile. I was worried there for a second that we'd have to kill you. Oh, sister. And he comes in for a bit of a hug. So good to see our kind around here.
You wouldn't be the first of the people I have met before, but you wouldn't be... I haven't seen hundreds, maybe a handful, but... You live in dangerous areas, don't you?
Oh, it's just a part of the job. And you just see him, croak his throat. Like, you just see that bulge. Ribbit. And looks towards... I think the eyes fall onto Janet Jackson, good old Aluya over here, and they just do the same exchange, doing a small little hop over.
I wouldn't grab their hand or hug them.
Oh?
Let's just say they are extremely new to their predicament.
New? Oh dear. And you see the female water genasi coming up again. Frog with a little bit of lipstick over the mouth, shape of the heart. She comes over and just looks Janet Jackson up and down and just goes, oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. It's always scary when you go through your first time. Waking up, not knowing anything about the world, but we're here for you. We're family. And I kind of want to imagine as she's talking, like the tongue flings out and grabs a nearby insect and it fucking comes back to the mouth. Small chewing.
Luckily for them, I prepared something that they can hide more efficiently than I. So, but I just worry since, well, sometimes residual things could occur, but where do you hail from besides here?
Trying to think if check's even necessary here. No, I wouldn't say a check is necessary. They would tell you. Yes, well, you see, we had a bit of an incident a good 2-3 decades ago. Yes, there was a calamity, or a watcher, sorry. Vernacular, I need to remember. There was a watcher going around the Titan Sea. A bit of a hurricane, that one. Had a bunch of eddies coming here and there. And unfortunately, me and my wife, points towards the woman. Yes, we were on a vessel that ended up getting eaten by the sea. And the rest is history. We ended up following the storm from there. And we ended up finding a tribe of brethren, sisters, brothers, that gave us a home when no one else would.
Our stories are similar. I hail from... Well, you might not know this since it sounds like you're still working with the vernacular of the Watchers. But I am from a location called Direfall.
Hang on, let me amend that. That was just a hiccup as me, a DM. They have 3 decades of experience. It's just
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
that was a fuck up on my part remembering it after I said it. But please continue.
But they'll be like, I'm from Direfall.
Yep.
Most people would say it's part of the Dominion of the Kindle.
Yes, the Dominion of the Kindle. Hmm. You see them looking at each other. Where do you find your allegiances now? You're quite a hop and a skip away from home, if you don't mind me saying. Yes, quite so. They're quite far away.
Currently, I am trying to do research as well as develop a procedure that relates with the transformations of Genasi, since, well, often people will not only be forcibly changed, but also the fact, I would say, is often you forget your memories. But the process I am trying to discover is mainly for the benefit of our kind as well as others so that they would not look about on us with any more fear. It's rather hard though, since I think you're already aware that people that are that of the Watchers, well, either have two sides, they are peaceful or they are tyranny. But that's from my culture. They tend to be a lot more brazen and hot-headed.
I'm afraid you might misunderstand what I'm saying here. Are you still with the kingdom? Or are you still with the Kindle?
I would say I'm inactive. A very long time inactive.
You just see, like, it start expanding. It's good to hear. You see, we've been looking for recruits here and there. As you can imagine, it's really hard to give an open invitation, especially to people who go through experiences like you and I and her, motioning to the other two. It's hard to break that type of allegiance, that slavery. You see, if you wouldn't mind, we would like to offer you a bit more freedom. Safe haven.
I'd appreciate that, although, as I'm afraid to say, I wouldn't be able to stay. I would be able to visit and possibly reconvene and give more details, but I do like a safe haven, especially for those that, well, are in a situation where they're surrounded by things that could very well murder them on sight.
Gives a sagely nod.
Currently, though...
I'm
go
afraid,
ahead.
I'm afraid, my sister, brother, my cousin. If the offer I'm going to make you, I can only make you one time. It is a serious decision, and I'm afraid there is no way of walking out of it. See the woman right next to him, also nodding along. We offer freedom, but we all need to work together. These divisions between the Genasi is abhorrent. fire genasi only mingling with the fire genasi, the water genasi only swimming with the water genasi. That's not the way it should be. We're a storm, young lady. Young man, we should mix together. We are elements. We are not meant to be secular. We are meant to all ride together, work together to a common goal. So we can all walk the streets hand in hand. What I offer needs commitment.
Above table, Eddie, this seems so like it sounds like a great thing, but it sounds so suspicious because of two things. One, to a water genasi, so we're hunting down a water genasi like general. And two, and this is what makes it really suspicious, is that when they say I can only offer this once, it makes it sound like more of a threat than a thing. So Eddie, how do you feel? This I won't use your information as part of this. I'm just so curious.
Well, to be fair, you guys still have a connection at this moment. If you want, I could go towards the other group and catch them up to the point you're at.
Let's do that, because I would love the idea that Eddie's basically having like multiple TV screens in their head and they're just watching
Yes.
what's unfolding.
Yeah, a little bit of static going here and there. All right, Eddie. Let's go back to you. Excuse me. Excuse me. And you just see like a person that has the attire of a captain. Very, very floopy hat, vest, a long coat, as he is walking towards you. Not with a hurried pace, but making his presence known. Excuse me there.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hi,
And
what's up?
squints at you. My, is that Mr. Hayse over there? Squints. Or are you just a Triton that has the misfortune of being an otter?
I mean, I wouldn't personally call it a misfortune.
No. I don't mean... Go ahead.
It's just like, I'm fluffy.
Yes, cute and fluffy. No, I don't mean it as a bit of a dig. It's just the renown of the Hayse family. You wouldn't want to be mistaken as them without being a part of the family.
Well then, you would not be mistaken.
Oh, that's excellent. Just really quick, Mega, and if you can't do anything, that's perfectly fine, but is there any way you can turn up your sound on your end, or is that as loud as you can be?
Alright, I'm like a bit louder. It's just
Yeah,
like...
that's excellent. That's
like-
perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I have my microphone like further away than I usually do.
Yes, sir.
Due to
Yep.
my current setup and all that jazz.
Yep. You're perfect. Yes, Mr. Hayse, I don't mean to bother you. It's just I have a bit of business over here as well. Looking towards Valentine. Yes, I'm afraid your associate needs to answer for a few things. Won't take but a moment, but I would like a bit of privacy.
Eddie, taking advantage of the fact that he's still connected with the captain.
Yep.
You know this dude?
The captain is just staring at the stranger, and again, without making any eye contact with you, like anything is happening, he says to you, "I'm afraid I've never seen this person before." So it won't take but a moment. I just wish to speak with him in private. He unfortunately wronged my crew, and I wish for some recompensation.
Recompensation, how?
Well, sure, you don't want to be bothered too much about the details. It's... how rude of me. Mr. Hayes, yes, I'll tell you everything. I had a bit of a shipment in goods that recently went missing. And I'm led to believe that that man in question, nods over towards Valentine, is responsible for the theft.
How long ago was this?
Yes, it was about... Scratches his beard. 2, maybe 3 days ago. I've been investigating the matter by hand, and this is the first real breakthrough that we've had.
Going back to the connection. Captain, how long have you been without your ship?
It's been a couple days. Before you ask, no, I did not take any goods. I lost my ship before I even came to dock. I know it's 2 unreliable people telling you shit. If you would like, you can make some insight rolls here. That just occurred to me. Alright. Would you also like to join in here, Mavet?
Well, I don't hear the connection talk.
I've been under the impression that it's been like an open comm. Am I wrong with that, Eddie?
Like, as far as I know, it's been open.
Yep.
Then I'll just refrain from it. I'm waiting for orders from Eddie, but I'm on guard.
Yep.
Making sure they don't... Valentine in this guy. Don't touch.
With a 17, what you can gather from the situation is Valentine is being truthful. And towards the man in question, although he was... it seems like he's mixing a bit of truth and lies into what he's saying. By using, say, like Valentine's arrival at the island to corroborate his story. Please, we can iron out this situation. It won't take too long. I just need to know where the goods are.
Well, thing is that the good captain's been without his ship for the last few days.
Oh, really? Quirks an eyebrow. Where, pray tell, did his ship go?
Based on my guess, it's probably with the apes now.
I'll offer you another insight check. Just based on this man's reaction. The man seems very ignorant of what you're talking about. But he acts surprised. And I would even go so far as to say, again, that is a bit strange in itself, just because regardless if sailors have fully explored the island, if if they've either lived here or frequented this island, they should be familiar with the dangers. You're saying that monkeys took away his ship? A bit of disbelief.
They're pretty hard to miss.
Yes. Slow nod of the head. Probably even gives a deep inhale, exhale. Mr. Hayse, it appears that we're at a bit of a crossroads. Look, if you can't give me the good captain, at least give me the location of his ship so I may recoup on my losses.
Yeah, it's a funny thing about this island. Is that the creatures that live here like to take what they want.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see a pattern with its citizens as well.
Well, the apes are a bit less nice about it.
His teeth.
You do
Looks
know what
towards-
I'm talking about, right?
Yes, Mr. Hayse, of course. Let it ride as a bold-faced lie.
Captain, what's the greatest danger of this island?
People, of course. Can't trust them.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Mr. Hayse, please. I would like either to talk to the captain alone or to see his ship.
I think I'd like to meet with the dockmaster to see if you've registered.
Squints his eyes. At this moment, I'm going to say like the times have aligned, and this would be the point where Seer would be able to chime in here.
So, Eddie, this is a strange thing I want you to know, but I'm being offered to join something, but they only offer it once, and they're water genasi frogs. But it sounds like either A, they want to work with my goals, which is very not likely, since not many people think that you could change things like that, or they might be recruiting others around the cities to help out with the Genasi takeover. Should I accept their offer to, I would say, recon, or do you think I should just deny and then possibly deal with the consequences if they don't want me walking about?
Accept it for now. If nothing else, we might appreciate the contact and the extra information.
Will do.
Although
Okay.
you should probably know that we are dealing with somebody suspicious too. And they're getting pretty angry.
Yep. And I would say at this
I don't-
point, Eddie, you see two other sailors like slowly approaching as well. All right.
Let's
Let's
like Eddie in the middle
go
of
ahead.
that little mental connection there, like it is like smoking a bit,
Hmm.
releasing a puff. Uh, you know, Captain, if you're going to walk around dressed like that, you should at least do basic research about the place you're going.
You see his eye twitch a little bit. Um, let's see. I'm gonna pivot to a seer really quick just to see how that resolves, and we'll go back to see how that other situation gets resolved. Seer, we're in the shack. We have dust motes flying in the air as the last. Yeah, I'm gonna say as candlelight is now the natural light of the room, or even your own Genasi fire is what lights the room. And you see the frog like croak a little bit, and he says, "We do this out of love. I'm asking you, with knowing I'm only going to offer this once. Would you like to hear it?"
You may offer.
Are you certain there is no going back? I do not wish to slay my own kin.
What benefits you would benefit me.
Gives you a smile. And the woman, the man looks towards the woman, and the woman pipes up. So, what you should know is the domains, the kingdoms, that all of the Genasi that stick together, stick to their element. That is just one side of the coin. There is another faction out there where all of us can live together in harmony, walking the streets without persecution. And she comes in close, and there's a bit of a glow in her frog-like dumbbell-shaped eyes. It's called the Rebirth Bastion. Now please, hear me out. They have a plan. Although it is a bit scary, we are trying our best to bolster our numbers, so we are a force to be reckoned with. So that all these races that look down upon us, that kill us the moment they lay eyes on us, so we can fight back our numbers, so we can rise against opposition, against those that keep us down, those that slay us. We plan to live within the storms, help guide the storms as a barrier, as a bit of protection towards our own. Right now we're going through the island, seeing if any of our kin are hidden among the populace. And she's just looking at you, gauging your reaction before she goes on.
I'm in a listening pose, very much kind of like letting them talk, not seemed afraid. Also by the fact that I know that we get out of the situation, so I'm rather calm, I would say.
We are riding the tide of Maelstrella. Her and Quagmire are leading us towards a better future. each one of the elements has a representative, and we're hoping that through this recruitment, through these trials and tribulation, that we'll look over what element each of our kin are, for we are all a family. There's no bad blood between family. Ribbit, and you just see her throat bulge.
Makes a lot of sense. Finding refuge within our kind can aid us greatly.
Sweetie, could I see your hand?
Puts hand out.
Yeah. Looking at your hand, her watery hand glides over yours, and there's a bit of steam that lifts. Sweetie, what have you had to do to survive?
I had to run.
Smiles. We've all had to run. You know, I was a bit of a pacifist in my past life. I couldn't hurt a fly. And she looks you dead in the eyes. Ever since that fateful night, when me and my husband were skewered within the storm, I had to do a lot of things to survive, to live, to be given the right to live. Breathes in heavy, exhales. I'm not proud of it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes so that I may live the life I want to live. And I want to offer you the same dream.
Oh my god, great. I knew one day I was going to be offered to basically join. I thought for a second there, I thought they were just being like Genasi's and water Genasi's can be together and be like, are you making an elemental joke? But now I know it's like, ah, damn it, you are trying to make me join the enemy. And the answer is yes.
Mm.
Not to be evil, but it's a great opportunity. Think about it.
Mm.
Sounds quite lovely.
So, you wish to join us?
If I said otherwise, I think I would be doing a disservice to my brothers and sisters.
Gives you a bit of a smile. Thank you, cousin.
Then with that said, where do we go now? I don't assume that it's just, oh hey, I'm in. It's more to it, isn't it?
So, she looks at you, gives you a bit of a smile, and says, well, we need to speak to Captain Eddie. And once we get the green light, we should be able to organize a bit of a meeting with Quagmire. I mean, it is the right-hand man of Maelstrella herself. His word is worth his weight in gold. Once you have the approval, you'll be one of us. We can take you there. Really fast.
basically hoping Eddie's listening to this, goes like,
If you want, you can say that you repeat at least little fragments. Nothing too crazy. You can't have
oh,
a one-to-one, but if you need to say like keywords, you can definitely pass that along as not to distract the both of you.
I think I would do that, but I probably would be like, then before we speed along, I do need to prep for, well, I'm carrying lightly since I know some of my equipment that I would need. I couldn't just stroll about, especially if I had to eat candles. So, that sounds like a lovely plan.
All right. Well, and I think they might actually pull out a feather, and you see like her hand glide over the feather as it gets slightly stained, then hands it over to you.
I examined the feather.
It's a feather you've seen all too well. It is the same type of feather you've seen from your time on the Dragon Egg Island. It is the same feather you've seen from the manor in Sheum from the bird. It's a Dracula falcon feather. It's either Dracula falcon or Dracula hawk is one of the two. Check.
Hawk, if I remember. And Aaliyah
Dracula.
confirms it.
Appreciate that. It's Dracula hawk. Essentially, the feathers are used as a means of communication, while the ciphers of the feather usually go unnoticed. And she says to you, like holding both of you, like one of your hands with both of hers, she just says, please look down at your hand that holds the feather.
I will do as they say.
Yep. As you look down at the water that essentially floats over your hand, like her hand's over yours, you can see through her skin. And you see through her skin that words appear on the feather. Then she slips her hands away. You need the eyes of the elements to read these feathers. I'm sure you're familiar, or you may not be. See one of fire, and you need eyes of fire. If you see one of water, then you need eyes of water. And she gives you a bit of a grimace. But unfortunately, you don't have eyes of water, so you're going to have to do the next best thing and grab a little bit of water. Hover it over, and you should be able to read it.
Thank you.
Anything for you, cousin. Gives you a nod. Please. Once you find a secure place, read that. We shall meet again.
I will do as you say then.
So you nod. And you see the man who tore his face off, like he's just pulling back the hair, and you just see a bizarre expression of the face being stretched back, and you just hear just the sound of fabric being torn, then tightened, then the face blinking, winking, making bizarre reactions and expressions until he moves his tongue about and he just has a pudgy face of a human. It was a pleasure. Gives you a nod.
Pleasure's all
Yes.
mine.
Yes. It is good to see another one of us. She gives you a nod as well. You see them both leave. Out the door.
During this time, I would say she wouldn't say anything to Aluya. She would just simply look and give a face of like awkwardness, but then it's like we'll continue on their way as they kind of transfer all the info they just acquired to Eddie. Especially of Captain Eddie.
All right. So do you put back on your disguise?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna walk out and get murdered.
Okay. How do you do so?
Basically put on the same kind of showiness of it, because the issue I have is that I can't just transform myself, you know?
Mhm.
I will if things go bad. I can
Okay.
do that, but then I take the risk of getting more tired. But really, Seer is playing it smart, because if someone tries to come up, Seer has a way to bypass. You know, they can cast a spell really quick and be able to disguise themselves as a human or anything like that, you know?
So let me lay this down for you. Because that did take a fair amount of time. You are also gonna have to spend time to put on like your outfit and get ready. And that is going to be the cost of not using disguise self. If anything occurs with Eddie and like a party B over there, you are going to be this far away behind a door.
Fair enough. Then I will put on the costume, and whatever happens will continue to happen until I put on my costume.
Okay. We zoom back to Eddie. And bit of a twitch with the man's face. No need to be so rash, Mr. Hayse. I can tell when I'm no longer welcome. Looks back towards the other sailors. Looks back towards you guys. Will take a step towards Eddie unless Mob Vet gets in the way.
I would attack right there.
Oh, really?
Or I would go for a grapple.
Yes, a grapple works out for me, but I thought that was a bit excessive there. Mm-hmm. All right. Make me the athletics check.
Give me the roll.
Yes, sir.
And I'm thinking.
You're thinking? Are you thinking?
I'm trying to I'm not trying to force it. I'm trying to, do the whole thing. He's walking past me, so I brush his arm up and put it behind his back to essentially
Okay.
immobilize him like that through pain. So I was thinking adding my dexterity modifier, but if not, I'll just roll this.
Okay. Yeah, make the roll. All right, gonna make a dexterity. Damn. You got his arm. God's damn tree man. I don't mean any ill will.
Well, you're getting too close to Mr. Eddie here.
I wish to make introductions. We've got off on the wrong foot. And he offers you a hand, Eddie, as he says, "My name is Captain Eddie. It's a pleasure." And he's thinking, or his mic's not working.
Yep, he's gonna leave again.
Yeah, it's fine. We love him.
We love him to death.
Mm-hmm.
He has risen.
Let's sigh.
Yep. There you go. Go ahead. He offers a hand.
It's like
Captain Eddie.
Eddie not breaking eye contact with him. It's like accepts the hand.
And gives a couple shakes before bringing back his free hand.
Eddie, should I let him go, or what do you want me to do?
Actually, this would be the moment where it's just like I'm thinking like that name that he just got. It's like going back to the communication.
Yep.
Well, that pretty much confirmed it. Looks like I'm speaking with the captain.
Will you say back to us here?
Seems like the captain is a rather busy man too, since he seems to be also directly connected to Quagmire, someone that we've been looking for. Tread lightly. They seem to be connected with Genasi, so I would be careful not to mention it unless I talk to them first.
He seemed really interested in Captain Valentine, and I have a feeling I know why.
Doesn't surprise me then. One advantage with us then is that we will be able to split apart and continue the investigations in two different directions. Aaliyah will have to be aside with me, and then you will be on your own. It's actually easier since I don't have to disguise myself with them. But for you, I think it'd be more of a hazard if I was near you. So we should reconvene at a time that will work for both of us.
Leave a message after the beep. Beep. I'm gonna say at that moment, between that conversation, we hear the flapping. We hear the flapping of wings, and you see Captain Eddie look up, and we see like a few feathers begin to fall, and he catches one in his hand. Plays with it for a second with his finger. I don't mean to cause you any more trouble, Mr. Hayse. I apologize for any inconvenience I may have caused here. If you would, please keep an eye out for our shipment. Gives you a nod.
We'll be sure to have my people look into it.
Wouldn't ask for anything more. Gives you a nod. Tip of the hat. Eyes linger on you. Onto Mavet. I assume Echo Knight Eddie. And finally, Valentine. And there's just a bit of coldness behind that stare. Then he clinks his boots together. Walks off. Sailors follow. Oh, I'm sorry. Did were you given the Did Eddie not give you the order to let him go?
No, he didn't.
I missed that with the connection issues. Let me backtrack a little bit. He clinks his boots together and attempts to leave. Does Mavet let him go?
Eddie, like I asked, is he good to go?
You can let him go. He
As
hasn't laid a hand on me after all. Well, except the one.
that was a good hand, though. He was nice with it.
That's a good hand.
So as Mavet unhooks his arm from behind Captain Eddie's back, spins him around towards face Mavet, and still holding his arm, shakes his hand and says, "Thank you for not hurting Mr. Eddie,"
Gives you a nod.
and then let him go.
Wouldn't dream of it. Goes up. The men leave the scene. Everyone, give yourselves 500 EXP for avoiding combat.
That'll do for Luya.
Yep. Just so you guys are aware, because of Moo's decisions, that really helped avoid a conflict here. Not to mention all of the holes that Mr. Eddie Hayse poked in the story, along with standing his ground. Yes. You guys are free of the combat, and it is approaching 6:30 in the game.
Eddie's going to toss his vape pen over to the captain.
He catches it, takes a look at it, and just goes, "The fuck is this?" No, actually, no, he can't. He says in your head, "What the fuck is this?"
Keep smoking that if you want to keep talking.
Gives you a nod. And he does inhale, puts a vape to his mouth, but he has that shit eating grin. You know what I'm talking about? Like anyone taking a picture while smoking a vape.
So then Eddie starts walking.
All right, is it safe to assume everyone's going to be leaving the scene here?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Eddie's got a schedule to keep.
Yep. Go back to the map here. All right. All right, Mr. Eddie, where are you going?
In which case, he is making his way back to the estate.
Mm-hmm. Does everyone follow suit?
From a distance, I'm going to make sure that I'm close enough that I could still talk with Eddie, but we're still going to stay busy. Because the thing is, I can't. The big thing is that I don't want to draw suspicion still. So unless we go back home, which would not help us a lot since we're trying to stick together to avoid having issues.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to offer everyone here a perception check as you guys begin to walk. Wow. Eddie's on a mission. With a nat 1, he has tunnel vision. Mavet's 13. easily distracted by birds. And Seer, yours is just high enough. So let me tell you, there's 2 thresholds. One's at 12, one's at 16. One at 12, Mavet, your eyes are wandering all over the place, but you do see some more like birds. They seem reminiscent of parrots, with how colorful their feathers are. But as you begin to look at them again, it does make you think of something, Mavet. It reminds you of the first time you met this group, almost in a past life. The vague memory of a bird in a cage within a manor. You see quite a few birds of that nature. Seer, as you begin to walk along, you do notice that through the drunken revelry that's taken over on the docks, that there are eyes that linger on your group. Now, eyes that focus on Eddie, that is commonplace. He's a big name on the island. But you do see couple people, eyeing down your group as a whole, each one of you. Like there's a connection between all of you. You even see Seer, a drunken stumble of a man following you. Yes, that is correct, Mavet. These are similar feathers to what Captain Eddie caught. I should say, the birds have similar feathers. Imagine them all having a blue tinge to them.
Well, now we know they have eyes everywhere, guys. With that said, mentally, I'll let Eddie know that there are eyes everywhere and we're being followed, so I'm gonna split away from him so that the drunken person might follow me as Aluya and I perform.
Are you
Fact,
going alone?
you know what? No, Aluya's gonna come with me. They refuse to.
Lose. Yeah. Gotcha.
What might have to actually happen is that I probably will have to have Seer lodge somewhere else versus the Eddie estate.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I let Eddie know. In their head,
Yeah.
it's like we're being followed.
Yeah, unless Eddie raises any issues with it, then we're gonna move on.
Eddie will, he will, he will mentally say to Seer, "I'm pretty okay with you guys splitting up. You guys can get out of trouble pretty easily when you're together. Just stay safe.
Will do. Keep mental touch.
I'll find another way to contact you. I can only imagine that, the mindfuck's starting to wear off on you."
Afraid so. I'm not feeling the candle poking my stomach as much.
All right. So as the camera has an aerial view of the party, you could say a bird's eye view of the party, and we see Eddie, Mavet, and Valentine going north towards the estate, while Seer and Aluya go east within an alley, or how do you split from the group?
I mean, we just make it natural. The idea is that I go to where the crowds are the biggest, where Eddie's going to a specific location.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I just stop and do another performance.
Yeah. All right. So you guys do performance. You see the person stumbling, following you, and eventually approaches you, Seer. He has a bit of a red nose, a couple of hiccups. A little bit of a wobble as he comes within 5 feet of you.
before I say anything, can I insight this?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I'm waiting for the prompt like a good girl.
Yep. Be coming in a moment. Press the button. Should be any second. Like a good girl. There you go. Oh, a natural one.
That one.
Yeah.
All right, no suspicions
know.
raised.
Yeah, there's no suspicions raised. His nose has a little bit of snot coming out, and he wipes it off with his forearm. And he just goes, "You know why I'm here, right?"
Candles?
No. Stop
Pray
acting like
tell.
a fool. You can be honest with me.
Honesty is a hard thing to do in such a public area. I must keep an act up. Unless there's
Just
more.
tell me.
I'm sitting there going, like, tell him what? He didn't give me anything to tell him with.
Tell me.
Here, you haven't read your message yet.
Let me look at my message again.
There you go.
Oh. My brain.
Tell me.
They literally gave you a message they asked you to read.
That's what I was gonna be like. I was gonna the message. Take a quick read. Yeah, I
Oh.
can pop the message open and take a quick read.
Can someone else speak for me?
What's poppin'?
Okay. Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't my headphones. Moo, speak for me one more time. Yeah, you sound very distant. Did you accidentally unplug your mic or something?
I think I did. Do I still sound distance?
Yeah, you sound very distant. Very distant,
Oh,
very
okay.
soft.
1 second.
Yes, but of course.
How about now?
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Yeah, so he's just saying to you with a slight hiccup, just runny nose. Tell me.
Would it have been possible for me to just have read the message beforehand? Because if the message was important to read, I would have read it before I left.
Okay. Tell me how you'd read it.
I mean, they said add a little water to it, correct?
Water over it.
Yeah, so water skin, pour it on, hold it in my hand cupped.
Yeah. Okay, if that's the case and you keep it submerged. Honestly, unfortunately with you, you have a little bit of a timeline because that water begins to steam, but you do get the message across. And essentially, like, what it details specifically is just a shack deep within the town. It's an innocuous address, just very nonchalant. It seems just like a meeting point with a time, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Make sure you write that down.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make a address I'm not gonna remember a couple weeks from now. Just know it is within the city. It is a shack, and the time is about 8 a.m.
Well, that works. Now I gotta
Yep.
figure out this guy that's talking to me. Go like, don't lie to me, and I'm like,
Tell me. And he's getting a little bit more aggressive about it. What do you know?
I know a lot of things. All sorts of things, many things, all things that are related to good or bad. You need to be specific.
I need to know why my wife left me. Tell me.
Here's a good question for you, good sir, for I am an entertainer and I can be also a therapist. First, hold the talking candle.
And he grabs it in the weirdest way possible.
Lights the candle and goes like, now, as the
Hold it upside
candle
down.
slowly burns, as the candle burns, tell me, and this is the most important details, when did it start falling?
You see, I'm a bit of a sailor. Go out and sea, catch fish, bring it back. My wife is a human. And one day, she ended up becoming pregnant. And then, when she gave labor to him, goddamn Triton.
How
left
many...
me.
How long were you gone? And most importantly, well, before this horrible incident occurred, did you show appreciation to them? Did you try your best? Because though some people say I provided for them, did you really provide all the things they need?
I provided everything she needed. Laundry to do, making dinners, long times alone at the house when I went to the bar with the boys. I just don't see where it went wrong.
Let me ask you the same question then. If you love puppies, do you love puppies?
My dog died.
Then you understand that if your dog died, what things the dog needed.
Yeah, the dog's like a woman. You throw a ball, wait for her to bring it back, and give her a couple pats on the head and call her good. Not that
That's
hard.
the problem. That's the problem, though. There's more to it. I imagine you gave it hugs, took it on adventures with you. You did things that unconsciously would show a lot of love to the dog, but to a woman, they're not a dog. Sometimes they could be a
What?
bitch, but the difference is that's not the same thing.
Thank you, Moomin, for making the joke for me.
You're welcome. Here's the thing, and this is for you as a future lesson for, while I could give you comfort, while I give you entertainment, I have to give you the truth that while you did love them, while you did provide them a lot of things, you did not provide them the things that would make them want to stay with you. And simply what that is, so that you could learn for your future endeavors, is time together, not wealth or things that would make any person just feel safe. The
Right.
person themselves there had to be there to make them feel safe.
You're right. You're right. And he takes a big, sip from a bottle of rum. I know what I gotta do now. Track down that son bitch that slept with my wife. Really fuck him up. Bring him home, and I'll have all the time in the world with that girl. Thank you. Thank you so much. And he starts walking away and just goes, our baby will learn. I'll love him too. Maybe after a couple hits.
I would literally look to Louis and be like, this is one of the rare times I would say to shock him.
Yeah.
I would just like stun him for a second with the shock, but I'm like, but that might kill him.
Do you want to?
No, I'm not taking control of Louis' character. I'm just sitting there going like, this is not gonna work out for him, is it?
Yeah, he's planning to beat, possibly kill, a a man that snuck into bed with his wife, and to him, like the bridge between the missing time he's had with his wife can be reclaimed with this.
Sierra, remind me, don't you get like a number of free castings of Lesser Restoration a day?
That's what I plan to do. Is like as he's walking away, I just slap him in the back with a Luster Restoration. And in reality, I didn't slap him with a spell. I stabbed him with a syringe.
Oh God. Are you planning to sober him up? What the fuck are you planning to do
That's the
here?
goal because it sounds like a drunken rage, and then you just go like,
Okay.
"Let's
Do
basically."
you do that?
Go ahead. I do.
Okay, less restoration, syringe in the back of the neck. He face plants onto the boardwalk because that alcohol was the only thing keeping him going. He is exhausted and tired and immediately falls asleep. So just imagine he's walking away, you slap in the back of the head, then he just face plants onto the ground.
I think this is one of the rare moments where I might have to do a white lie. Pulls out letter, writes letter, puts letter under his head.
Yeah.
I made a quick love letter. Hopefully he'll understand.
A quick love letter.
Whom it may concern, even though I slept with your wife, what I really wanted was to sleep with you, but I couldn't have you, so I had to get the next best thing.
I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to sleep with your wife. I wanted to steal your heart. So I did the next best thing and stole your wife.
If this is a story that comes true later and they like the Triton in disguise together and the wife's on the corner, I would be so sad, but also die.
Okay. The camera begins to follow the other boys going up to the estate. You guys make your way up to the gate. Oh, welcome back, young master. And you see like the old man hobbling. Open up the gate. Hear the creak. You know, these bones are a little too old to keep opening and shutting this gate.
Actually, there's one more thing I need from you.
Oh, really? Picks up his nose.
I'm gonna need the key.
Squints. See the tongue moving around in his mouth. No, I can't say no, master. I still gotta hear it. Who told you?
Ma told me herself.
I'm gonna give you an insight check with that. Insight is the skill check of the day. See the roll?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like when you said that, I didn't know if that role was for me.
Yeah, no, it is specifically for you. And only you. And I'll explain why in a second.
I
Okay. All right, with the 6, you see him open a drawer at his station And I'll at least give you this. You see that there are multiple little compartments, each with their own little keychain, key ring, and he looks like he's going over the compartments and finally lands at the one that you're looking for. Pulls it up, closes it, hobbles back over. There you go, young master. Make sure you bring it back. Hands over the key.
Like, does there seem to be anything like special about the key itself, or?
No. Unfortunately, it just seems like a bland antique key. It just seems very small.
Before it goes on, it's like, I hope you know that I probably wouldn't have known if she didn't tell me, right?
Gives you a nod. No, young master, that's not what I'm worried about. Just had to know which key to give you. He gives you a smile. In just a couple seconds. Like, oh yeah, you probably... It might occur to you that, like, your family, for some reason or another, like, all depend on this man to hold on to random keys to random secrets.
It's like, this one goes into the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this one's for James's dungeon. This one's for Marianne's little poodle room. I gotta make sure I gotta feed them.
I haven't fed them in. It's like
Yeah, shit.
quickly
Yeah.
gets on his like on his like scooter and starts riding on, no, excuse me, on his like on his moped.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I
you
know,
got,
better, his Segway.
and that's a good segue to you approaching Marianne's room, and you do see her vanity set.
Well, time to see what's inside, I guess.
Mm. You open up the drawer, and you see a tiny locked box.
Going to pick up the box and like probably with a bit of like personal insight, like actually hands it over to Valentine.
Mm.
I think it'd be better if you were the one to open it.
Gives you a nod and says within his head, "Thank you." And as he does, you feel from the box a little vibration, as if someone is talking, and it synchronizes with that thought. Hand it over to him. Looks at the box, and looks at the key, and looks at you.
Right.
Yeah, he wanted to see if this was going to be a collateral or a gift.
He's
Open.
going to like he's actually going to have like a Eddie properly unlock it.
Hmm. Yeah. We see the smoky hand of a sea elf grabbing the key, places it within the little chest. Within this box, you hear the clink, and the lid opens. As the lid creaks open, we see stains of blood, and we see a constant vibration of long, meaty cords, all laid on velvet. And you hear from the cords itself vibrating, acting as a speaker. There it is. And you hear it within Valentine's voice. I don't know. That sounds like we're kind of getting close to the end of the session here. That sounds like a good place to end it. Unless anyone has some final notes here.
Now, sing.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
This has been House Common Blood. The intro and outro music is Oh My Dog by Savick, and any other music and sound effects used in this episode are royalty-free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be using. And if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. Where is the fire?